Hey there, listeners. Welcome to Women of the Northwest, ordinary women leading extraordinary lives. You know those women who everyone seems to know, the ones that balance a dozen things at once, and you can depend on them to not drop the ball. Gals that are not afraid to have an idea and take the next step. Yeah, that's the kind of gals I'm talking about. These are the women I have conversations with each week, telling their stories and sharing their passions. Motivating, inspiring, compelling. Join us each week for a new episode found on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, iHeart, and more. So I woke up the other morning after high school graduation, and I had this great idea that I should do a woman on the street little interview. So I gathered a bunch of people around and went to different locations and asked people two questions. One, what was it like when you graduated from high school, and what did you think was going to happen with your life after that? And did it turn out the way you thought it would? So let's listen in. There were some pretty fun, interesting responses. I think you'll enjoy this. So Stephanie, what was it like for you when you graduated? Were you sad you were leaving, or did you have all these grand plans? What happened?
I was really excited to be done with high school and move forward with my life and have all these things figured out.
What did you think was going to be figured out?
Oh, I thought within 5 years I'd have it all figured out. I have my career, and if I had kids, I would be a great mother and have it all figured out and knew exactly how to raise them. And I just knew I would understand it all by the time I was 25-ish, I thought.
Did you have a career in mind?
No, not really. I just knew I wanted to do something, and I was going to go forward with whatever that was. And I knew I could change, so I wasn't too worried about being stuck to something.
Yeah. And did you move away, or did you just stick around the area?
We stayed for a little bit and then moved. With my husband and I moved down the coast, and that was a great experience to be outside of Clatsop County.
Yeah, but you came back.
We came back. This is a wonderful place to be.
So Amanda, when you graduated from high school, what did you think life was going to be like afterwards?
I was very excited to get out of my hometown. I had plans to go to a four-year university with my best friend, and it ended up happening. So I was pretty excited to go with her. We both ended up branching out and meeting a lot of other friends, so it didn't go exactly how I thought. I had no idea what I wanted to major in, so that scared me. But I just ended up really liking math, so I just took a lot of math classes and ended up majoring in that. Yeah, so I didn't really know what I was going to do. I was just excited to leave Knappa, basically. But now here I am back in Knappa.
And here you are back, just like a boomerang. Huh?
Yeah. So I think it's important to leave and try new places and different things.
And then come back.
Yeah.
So Mickey, when you graduated from high school, what did you think life was going to be like afterwards?
I thought it was going to be really straightforward. I was going to go to college and really easily get a job and just do all the big life things and buy a house and get married and have kids.
What was
and
it really like?
I did go to college. I graduated. It took a little longer to graduate than I thought.
Yeah.
And it has been an adventure, and it was not as straightforward as I thought. I did work, but, worked a lot harder and made a lot less money than I thought I was going to.
Did you end up getting the major you thought you were going to get it?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, you're one of the rare people.
Yes, I did. I also got a bonus major because I fell in love with other things along the way.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you left high school, were you sad, or were you...
I was sad. I mean, it was a big deal, but I was also very excited to do something new. I felt ready, and I was moving away from my home, and I was excited about that and to see the world.
So tell me what you thought it was going to be like when you graduated from high school. What was life going to be like for you?
Well, I thought I would get married and have babies right away. And that didn't happen until my late 20s. So I ended up going to school and working a lot and owning a business and doing all kinds of fun things, but not what I expected.
Were those experiences something that you were glad you had, or
Yes, all of them.
all of them were?
They shaped who I am today, but it wasn't what I expected.
So what did you think it was going to be like when you graduated from high school?
Well, I thought I was going to be recording on a recording label over in Minnesota.
Really?
And before I was able to go on that trip, I found out I was pregnant. And of course, that came first. So
Changed your life.
changed everything in an instant as soon as I found out I was pregnant with that baby.
What were you going to record? What kind of music?
Jazz. I really like jazz music, and
Really?
yeah, so jazz music or some R&B, and kind of was just gonna explore and see where it would take me.
Are you feeling like it's too late to do that?
Yes, I feel a little old. A little old for that now, but
Oh, maybe you could still pick it up. Hello, listeners. Welcome to episode 32 of Women of the Northwest. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Jazmin Geografo. She is a science teacher that came to us through the cultural exchange from the Philippines. Welcome, Jazmin.
Hi, Jen.
So nice to have you here today.
Thank you. Of course, it is my pleasure to share my experiences and story on your podcast.
Yeah. I had the pleasure, my husband and I had the pleasure of having Jazmin stay with us for a couple of weeks in January when she first came to the United States until her apartment was ready. So that's where I first knew her. She is now teaching at Knappa High School and teaching science there. So we are very lucky to have her. So Jazmin, tell me about living in the Philippines. What are some things that you see are really different here from there?
Living in the Philippines is a roller coaster ride of different or various experiences every single day. Like from the hassle commute to meeting people that you know along the way that are also commuting, plus the food, like a lot of food that are very much easily available to you. And of course, the bonding of your family and your friends. I came from Manila, which is an overpopulated city. There are like, if I'm not mistaken, 9 million
Oh my.
people on a single piece of land. That is along with high-rise buildings, informal settlers, public transportation and all. So living in here, in Astoria, it is such a refreshing feeling of being around with nature, a lot of trees, mountains, falls, river and the sea. So I'm really loving it here.
Yeah.
It is a very interesting break from the city life that I used to live in.
Right. Oh gosh, I can't even imagine living in a place with that many people. I almost moved at one time to Oakland. It's near San Francisco. And I got down there and I was so overwhelmed with how large it was. I thought, no, I can't do this. And came back to the little town to live here instead. What was your high school like that you went to school? How large was it?
I studied in a public high school with like 1,000 graduating students. I was very interested with journalism at that time.
Oh.
I was an editor-in-chief for our school publication, our school newspaper.
Oh, fun.
When I was in third year, they usually give the position to a senior, but I got it when I was in a junior level. The core memories of my high school were all those journalism competitions.
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed writing. I focused on feature writing because I think it is the most creative side of journalism, wherein you can actually use news and express it creatively so that your readers can relate.
Yeah. I didn't know that about you. So that's something that you could use at Knappa also, too?
I would love to.
Yeah. Did they know that you could do that? Or
I don't think so.
you need to share that with them, because that would be just a wonderful, wonderful experience for kids. What led you to wanting to go into sciences?
I didn't want to go into sciences. I was hoping to get a degree in journalism.
Really?
Or in mass communication, or in speech and theater arts.
Oh.
Like, as it is more on linguistics part than on your rational critical thinking skills science part. I didn't get the entrance exam for journalism at a certain university, and that broke my heart.
Oh.
But when I realized it over the years, it's just God is leading me to something greater than that. And I pursued biology, which is so weird because when I was in high school, this is really a funny story.
Yeah.
I got the highest final grade in biology.
Really?
And then the brightest student in our class was doubting it. Like, I am the one going to school competitions,
For
representing our school against biology quiz bee or for biology quiz bees. And then why are you the one with the highest grade? I am supposed to be the one with the highest grade. I was like, I don't know. And then he said that you don't deserve that grade. So I did actually message him that, hey, I got a biology degree. Now you're questioning me in high school. Yeah. But we have entrance exams in the state university when we were in first year, and my friend invited me to take the entrance exam for biology, for the qualifying exam. And then, okay, I just go with the flow. Okay, so we have more options later on. And then the essay portion was about the reproductive health bill.
Okay.
And then before that qualifying exam, I came from a linguistics class that has an activity of a debate about reproductive health bill.
Oh, so you were all prepared.
I was all prepared for it. And I already memorized this law. What are the predicaments of people about it? What are the ground rules or laws or when this will be implemented? So I have it all figured out in my head, and I just kept on writing and writing and writing. I ended up in biology program. They were like, and then my biology professor at the time also encouraged me to, you should take the biology program.
Okay.
Like after your prerequisites, you can go into biology program. And when I told my parents about it, they were very excited about it. Because you can actually land into many professions when you have biology degree. You can go to medicine. You can go to
research.
Laboratories, research, of course. And the academe. So yeah, I'll go for biology. Yeah. Okay. It's like when I think back, when I recall those moments, those little experiences that God gave me, they were all like puzzle pieces that
put together
for a bigger picture, for a bigger, more grand plan for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So did you teach science in the Philippines too?
I taught science in the Philippines.
And how did those classes compare to here?
First off is, I think the discipline. The Philippine schools are highly bureaucratic. They were a lot of protocols on who to meet when this is the problem, on who to approach when you got the certain student disciplinary issues. Highly bureaucratic. But in here, you can actually talk to everyone about it and they will help you on it. And that is a very good experience for me because by then I can actually solve issues quickly and handle them professionally. And when it comes to students, the Filipino students, there is like a not hidden, but the teacher and the student are not that close to each other.
You don't become personal with your students.
Yeah, exactly. That's because they are a lot in the classroom.
How many students did you have in a classroom?
The smallest class size could be 35.
35.
And then for a public school, the students can be as large as 70.
70 students?
70 students.
Oh, by
60 to
yourself?
70.
And
By
doing-
yourself.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it sounds awful. So you don't have enough time, energy, and resources to get to know them personally.
Right.
Yeah.
But even to keep track of their grades and...
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
And then, okay, so Ed and I went to Tanzania and we sat in on some schools, some high schools, but the classes were not that large, but they were maybe 35 or 40 students. But those students came in and they didn't talk to each other and they just sat down and they were ready to learn. And they had it was really, my mouth dropped open because it wasn't like here where they all coming in and they're all talking and it's hard to get them settled in and get them started and to do that. But is that like that in the Philippines where the students are just come in ready to learn, or is it hard to get them all settled in? And
some classes, they're just easy to settle in because these are the competitive classes.
Right. And they want to learn and they want to
learn. And I am totally different as a teacher in the Philippines as I am a teacher in here. I am not the nicest teacher that you'll ever meet when I was in the Philippines. Yeah.
Because you had to be.
I had to be because those kids are a lot. They are 40 to 45 in a class. And if you're just trying to be nice to them, to be friendly to them, to get to know them personally, they might cross boundaries. And it will be a lot of headache for classroom management.
Right.
So that's it. They just come prepared, ready to learn in the class. They have actually read their notes. They know that they will share what they have read, which means that they have an idea on what we will be talking about in a biology or chemistry class. But in here, since there are smaller class size, I really enjoyed getting to know the kids personally. It's a good cultural experience for me. I get to know what they do on the weekends, those simple stuff.
You probably found out some different things because I'm guessing that your students in the Philippines were not going out hunting on the weekends.
Yes, exactly.
Or owned guns or were fishing or...
Exactly. The freshmen were like, Miss Jazz, let's go hunting. And I was like, wait, are we allowed to go into the hunting? Because no one is allowed to own guns or, to be in the field shooting animals, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally okay.
Well, that brings up another thing. How is it for you? Let's compare in America, how often there have been school shootings, and is that something that happens generally in the Philippines or not? Let's talk about that a little bit.
That is not happening in the Philippines. There are cases of extrajudicial killings, but it has something to do with the government policies and war on drugs.
Oh, okay.
So those are targeted people. But when it comes to school, by the way, the International Court is actually looking through that extrajudicial killings. They're being taken care of. But the school shootings, this mass shootings, it never happens in the Philippines. Yeah. Schools are the safest place to be with. And even churches, like that. You don't expect someone to just shoot and kill you on a normal sunny day.
Yeah. So that must have been a little disturbing.
It is disturbing for me and for my parents. Like being away from home when they have read this news that they were shootings in elementary school. They were like, have you experienced the lockdown? Are you doing the lockdown drill? And then, yes, you are. And I don't think the students deserve that. Because in other places, it's not happening. It's not a thing. And
Yeah. Huh. Oof. Whew. Okay, so you've got your classes and you're doing, are you doing any electives besides it? So you're doing biology and physiology? No.
Integrative science.
Integrative science.
Physical
okay.
science.
Yeah.
And earth science.
Okay, and earth science. What do you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed for the earth science, what I enjoyed the most is how mature the students are. When you present them with a topic that requires their critical thinking skills. I once tried doing scientific essay, and I was surprised by their opinions on climate change.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a new perspective for me because I just thought of, you can, the government can try this policies. That is what I have in my mind when I was drafting the rubrics. But they came up with something personal. Like, as far as I can remember, they are saying that the people should act collectively, which needs to be something like a revolution within themselves to just have this self-awareness on how they can contribute to help solve a problem.
Okay.
But without the self-awareness, the government policies will just be a waste.
Right.
That's the summary of all their papers.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I love this during
Yes.
class.
Yeah. And encourage. That's something you want to encourage for them as young adults, turning into young adults. How
Yes,
nice.
exactly.
So you got to do a fun project with your freshmen. What was that? Tell us all about that.
I visited Portland during Easter with my friends, and they took me to Salt and Straw. It's an ice cream parlor.
Okay.
They have weird flavors, but actually ended up tasting so good, like strawberry vinaigrette, and honey lavender.
Oh.
For an ice cream.
Yeah.
You only hear that for like scented candles, but they have it as an ice cream. And then there was limited edition flavors of ice cream.
Okay.
It says there, Student Inventor Series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then when I read that, I was like, I am doing that on my class. I'm gonna imitate or copy that idea and implement it in my class for a final exam. So my freshman class, we discussed about, physical changes, chemical reactions, and scientific method that can be used in the lab.
Yeah.
So for their final exam this semester, I asked them to do their own limited edition ice cream flavor.
Ice cream flavor.
Yeah.
Ice cream flavor. How fun is that?
From planning to executing it to modifying it. They were just
It's called food science.
Yeah. They were just so excited about it.
Uh-huh.
Like, they were discussing that no, it has to be something like only our group can make. So they ended up with so many interesting flavors of ice cream. And
So now your next step would be to present it to Freet and Scoop here in Astoria that has, unique flavors.
yeah,
And that would be really fun.
that would be really fun.
Yeah.
And then I just realized that in doing that activities, when you give students their autonomy to learn or how they want to learn, it will be an exciting experience for them
Right.
in learning. And the teacher doesn't have to do all of the work.
Right. Right.
You can just come up with one big idea.
And this is
learn.
going to be one thing that they'll always remember.
Yeah, I
They
know.
may not remember chapter 22
Yeah.
in the science book, but they're going to remember this
Yeah.
activity. So tell me more about the exchange program. How would a person find out about that, or what, how that works?
J1 Cultural Exchange Program is a cultural exchange program between United States and the Philippines. They do not only do it for the teachers, they also do it for doctors,
Oh,
for students, for researchers. Yeah. And then this opportunity can be open to anyone that are currently teaching.
okay. So it goes both directions. So someone from the States could also go to the Philippines?
That
Or is it only
I am
from the
not
other way?
sure of.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But mostly I think it's from Philippines to United States.
Oh, I see. Okay. And so is there a cost to it? Do you for a cost to apply or a cost to, be a part of the program?
There's a cost to apply for the program, which is so minimal. If you'll only find the right person to connect with, because they have access to the school districts needing teaching positions.
I see. Yeah.
And they're gonna help you prepare mentally, emotionally, if you really want this program.
Right. Right. Yeah. So far you've been here for one semester. Are you feeling anxious and ready to begin next year?
I am actually excited to begin next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, from cleaning the lab to organizing everything in the lab.
Yeah.
To making the science room personalized for me. Like what will I be needing when I teach science? So I need to figure that out for the next semester.
So you will for sure be here next year, and that's
I will
just
be.
yeah. What about do you have other friends that are in the Philippines that you would encourage to come here?
Yeah.
I think we need a math teacher and a music teacher. And
Yeah. Well, I would say that being in the cultural exchange program takes a lot of work. It is not easy to send out applications. It is not easy to wait for the response of their applications. But I think if I may get more spiritual, things will actually work out if the opportunity is for you.
Right.
If not, if it didn't work out the first time, if it keeps on failing, it means that
the door is closing.
Yeah. Something out there will be more exciting for you, a more fit opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was anxious when I applied in this program, thinking if I could make it, thinking if I could be away from my family and friends.
Yeah.
But one thing I realized that I am still living by now is you don't have to believe everything that your brain tells you.
Okay.
Because our brain is actually adapted or has evolved from survival instincts. when they have to preserve their life, to save their life when they're living out in the wilderness. And that's the same thing that's happening now. Like, your brain will tell you not to do it because it will not be safe. You will not feel comfortable about doing it. And you don't have to believe everything that it tells you. And you should just you should just make that obstacle a way for you.
Yeah.
And when you actually surpass that certain obstacle or challenge, you will look back and say to yourself that, oh, I did all of that. Like, I moved away from 7,000 miles away, living here alone.
Right.
Yeah.
You met the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, when you first came, or even the time that you've been here so far, have you felt like people have been welcoming to you, or is there something that you would recommend that people did to make people, newcomers feel more welcome?
I was blessed to be in a place that all the people, all of the community are just welcoming. I think I am really in the right place at the right time. They are so welcoming. Like, all of the Knappa community are so hospitable. I didn't feel so welcome like this even before. Like, it has become easy for me because there were people showing up for me on the days that, I can't even show up to myself. And these people are kind, they're generous, and they just love helping people without expecting something in return.
Yeah. It is. I think it's a good community on the whole. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it is a good community, and the kids are the same. They are always checking up on me, like, especially on the first few weeks that I have.
Yeah,
like, hi, Mistress. Do you need anything? You're okay? Like, yeah, I'm okay.
You haven't felt any type of prejudice, have you?
I haven't. I haven't. Yeah. They were very welcoming. They are very, especially with the kids in here, they are very vocal on what they think of you. So, yeah. I like,
no filter.
No filters, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that, I'm starting to love the community, to love the people in here.
Yeah. And it takes a while to get to know places, and where everything is. What do you look forward to doing this summer?
I'm looking forward to do a lot of trails in here. I would love to go camping out in the woods. I haven't tried that.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Anything else you'd like to share with us?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
It's fun to hear all your story. I'm especially excited to hear about your journalism interests and some of that. That'll be, we'll have to put that to good use. All right. Well, thank you, Jazz.
Thank you, Jen.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to share it with your friends. There were a number of people whose voices you might have recognized on here. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.